Daddy's baby. Grace was the last child my daddy accepted as his. Truth be told, that was Daddy's last baby. His for real, for real. And she never let Karen forget it either. Always reminded her, that ain't your daddy, that's my daddy. She wore that title like a crown, Daddy's baby. And just like Val, she was in the life too. Karen is a story all by herself. Her father used to work for my daddy, Mr. Cliff. I remember every time Daddy paid him, Mr. Cliff would stick around just a little too long. Daddy would leave, and not 5 minutes later, Mama would walk to the back of the house. That's when Mr. Cliff would hand her some money. One day I caught him. He looked me dead in my eyes and said, "If you open your mouth, I'ma kill you." But let me tell you something. I was born with a mouth and a backbone. He should have known better. "That gal liked to shit it on herself," Daddy would say when he told the story, shaking his head. He said one day he went over to Mr. Cliff's house and knocked on the door. Asked straight up, "Is she over here?" Mr. Cliff said no, but Daddy knew. He went back to his car, grabbed his big white Bible, and came back to that door. Knocked again. "Is she in there now?" That Bible wasn't for reading. Everybody knew what that Bible meant. It had a word in it, all right. The last word. "Lola, get your ass on out of here. This man crazy," he hollered. He fired Mr. Cliff the day he found out he tried to rape me. I hit him in the face with a glass ashtray, told Mama what happened, and she started beating him down until he turned it around and lied to her. "Miss Lula," he told her, "you know I love daughter. She lying on me." She turned that rage on me. "You a lying bitch!" Shot at me. I fell down the stairs. That's how my son ended up being born premature. Being called a liar and a bitch by my mom, that hurt worse than the fall, even worse than the shot. But I still loved her. I still clung to her like I always had. I didn't understand then, but I do now. When you're being abused, sometimes you cling tighter to the one hurting you. It's twisted, but it's real. Mama got sick, and, well, it don't matter the year. What matters is what came with it. She needed real care, consistent care. And you would think, with enough of us around, we could have taken turns, rotated, shared the load. That was the plan. I even laid it out clear. I'd take 3 days. The rest could be split between the sisters. Sounded like a good answer to me. They nodded, agreed. But baby, actions speak louder than words. And silence? Silence says everything. That first week, Mama stayed with me. They helped 4 out of 7 days. 4 out of 7. Then vanished. It's 7 of us, which meant if they just took one day, they could have only had to do 3 or 4 days a month. But even that was too much for them. I didn't complain. I just did what I had to do. I showed up every day until Mama looked me in my eyes and said, "Stop." She saw the weight on me. She looked at me one day and said, "You've been my mama since you was 16 years old. Take me over to Crestview Nursing Home. I'm tired of this bullshit." And Lord knows, I didn't want to put Mama in no home. That's the last thing I wanted. But the truth was, I needed more help than I could afford, and Mama needed more attention than my sisters could spare. Sometimes love means making hard choices, and that one broke me a little. My sisters swore up and down they didn't want Mama in no nursing home, claimed they were mad, raised $100 worth of hell about it, but I ignored the noise. One thing for sure, they may be quick to lift their voice, but they were slow to lift a finger. I kept on paying Mama's life insurance, faithfully. Back in the day, the insurance man would come right to your door, and I made sure he got paid. When Mama passed, there was no insurance. Come to find out, two of my sisters, who shall remain unnamed, rolled my sick, fragile mother into the insurance office and had her cash out the very policy I had been paying on. The same ones who chose not to help care for her had the nerve to rob her blind and leave me holding the weight. I never stopped paying on that policy. So tell me, where the hell was my money? Then came time to plan the funeral, and they had the nerve to say they would embarrass me if I held it at Mama's church, just because they didn't like her pastor. The same church was offering a free repast, but no, they wanted to be difficult, as usual. Ain't it funny how the whole world wants to have a voice when somebody dies, but when Mama was alive, you ain't seen none of these folk. I let them have their way. They'd been running things their way all along anyway. I didn't feel bad, not one bit. I know what I did. I had done everything I could for my mama since I was a child. Most importantly, she knew it. She knew I loved her because I gave her her flowers while she was here. I always loved my mama, no matter what. My sister came through one day and asked me to go to lunch with her. That was different. She could have just called for what she wanted to say, but that would have been different too. Over plates of food and long pauses, she told me something I already felt deep down. She said the sisters had always been jealous of me. She reminded me, remember when we were gonna whoop your ass just because we were jealous? Said they told Big Brother, you don't care about us, you just love Priscilla. Truth is, I'm past worrying about who likes me, loves me, or even knows me. I've made peace with my path. I welcome this new season, this chance, however small, for those of us still here to come together over a meal, share a laugh, maybe a tear, and get to know each other in a new light, not as the wounded kids we were, but as the grown women we've become. Maybe this time we build something real, something better.